what is Easy Claw? We're a hose and cable management company. We were founded in 2009 and we're located in Mooresville, North Carolina. Our focus is to provide long-term maintenance-free solutions to manage the brake, electric, and hydraulic hoses for the heavy-duty truck and trailer industry. We offer solutions to the industry standard springs and pogo sticks that over time, I'm sure each of you guys know, fails, and then you have a broken spring, you have broken 3-in-1 lines, and you have a truck sitting on the side of the road that needs to be picked up, or if the driver is such that they have extra hoses and can fix it themselves, but they've still got downtime. So we have a solution that fixes that problem, as you guys have seen on your Volvos currently. So we're customer focused and ready to help. If you guys have any questions, obviously don't hesitate to reach out to Jennifer and her team, but we're here as well. If you got more technical questions that come up, we can answer those questions for you. So this first one, I believe this is on a Volvo. This is just a little video that we had done that was a GoPro mounted on the back of the trailer that you can kind of see how the Easy Claw works. I'll play that for you guys. And you can see this trailer, when we did this video, we had them do as hard of a left-hand and right-hand turn as they could do. But you can see the Easy Claw, when they're turning, it just pulls out about 2.5 to 3 feet. And then once the truck stays straight or gets back into a straight forward motion, that just retracts back up. So you're able to use the 15-foot air lines, which in a lot of applications is needed, just to be able to reach all the way back to where those glad hands are being supported, and without it being on the catwalk. And then, as you can see there, it just retracts back up. So very simple application, but it is something that we've been able to do. So the different applications that we have that I think are pertinent, first and foremost, is probably on the back of your cab for supporting those brake and electric lines from the back of the tractor cab. We can do straight lines if you're using individual straight lines, or we can do 3-in-1 and 4-in-1 wrapped lines. Really, the industry's moving towards the wrapped lines quicker and quicker every day. You see more and more of them on trucks on the roads. And then, going away from those coiled air lines that were kind of a thing of the past, and moving into the longer 3-in-1 and 4-in-1 lines. So another application we can help with, depending on how big your yard is and how many yard trucks you guys have, how much you're moving trailers on a daily basis, is we can put the Easy Claw right there on the side of the yard truck, or we can mount them. If you have Kalmar yard trucks, we have an adapter bracket that mounts up on the light bracket. You can see that on the far right hand picture. It actually gets the lines up even higher. And you can see in that middle picture there how we're holding the line so much further off the catwalk, and it just allows those lines to travel up and not get caught in any of the wheel wells or any of those other places that you may see where you have those problems from a maintenance perspective. Third application I wanted to mention to you guys is for under the trailers with the sliding tandems. There on the left is the kind of the standard in the industry, where the lines hang down, typically by a couple springs, laying low, very easy to be caught on something on the roadway. If the truck runs over something on the roadway, those lines can get snagged. So with the Easy Claw, it just mounts right to the cross member of that trailer, and you can see how much higher those lines are able to be supported up out of the way. We have had all of these tensioners salt tested to ASTM standards. They were made specifically to be on the back of the truck or to be under the trucks. So the majority of our components are all stainless steel. They won't rust. And then we've taken into consideration, if it's in a colder environment, you get a lot of snow and ice. The one for the sliding tandems, it's actually a 40-pound tensioner, and that just will be able to support that ice and snow that gets on those lines in the winter months. So as far as why Easy Claw, just some benefits to the Easy Claw system. We can decrease the recurring maintenance expenses that is incurred by fleets every day. The cost associated with road calls and downtime and DOT fines continues to increase year over year. And I'm sure you guys could speak to that a lot better than I can, but I've heard, you know, people tell me, you know, hey, if I've got a road call on the side of the road and I've got to send somebody after it, it's going to cost me at least $1,000 to get it brought back to the shop or get it up and running. So in that manner, it does have a proven return on investment by reducing those breakdowns and decreasing the downtime that your drivers will have on the side of the road, just getting them back to, you know, their families at the end of the day quicker and not having that downtime. We can also prevent DOT fines and out of service violations caused by the chafing airlines and the electrical cords. Specifically, we typically look at DOT violation 393.45. In 2022, and I have some 2023 numbers. They're about the same. I'm sorry, I don't have those on this slideshow, but in 2022 there was 218,000 violations with that code referenced, and 50,000 of those were trucks that were actually put out of service, so the driver couldn't move until that was fixed on his truck. So quite a few trucks, you know, quite a few trucks on the road, but with that many DOT violations, that we can solve that problem. Just a great reason why to choose Easy Claw. We can eliminate the noise and the damage to the back of the paint. So the driver's driving down the road and that 3-in-1 line is hung with a spring on the back of the truck from a towel bar. A lot of times it'll wear the paint on the back of the cab just from where it's running back and forth when they're making a turn. We hold the lines about 8 to 10 inches off the back of the cab further than what the springs do. And so that kind of helps keep your trucks in better working order and looking good on the road. Increased road and yard safety, keeping everything up off the catwalk, keeping it away from being a trip hazard by the drivers if they ever get up on the catwalk. Like I mentioned earlier, weather and corrosion resistant. We had them salt spray tested with no notable problems after they were salt spray tested in accordance with ASTM. And actually we did that testing based off of a recommendation, or a Freightliner basically told us we had to do that for them just to make sure that they had the documentation on it. So we went through that full process, and it's, you know, was acceptable by Freightliner and also Volvo. It's super easy to install, especially on these Freightliner Cascadias. It's going to be, there's a bracket up on the top of that cab that has 4 bolt holes, and our Versamount bracket matches that bolt hole pattern. So it's as easy as taking 4 screws out, putting the bracket up there, and bolting the 4 screws back in. So it's a super easy fix on the Freightliner Cascadia. I did mention earlier that it is maintenance free. You should be able to put this on the truck and will be able to last the life of the truck. You know, I don't know how often you guys buy new trucks, but it is a maintenance free, and it's built that way. It's got a sealed clock spring in the inside of it that is greased, so it'll last. We've cycle tested these things 5, 6, 7,000 times without failure, and that's a constant cycle, not once every 10, 12 miles when they're making a turn. Drivers love it. If you guys have drivers that are driving the Volvos currently, and the drivers of the Freightliners are wondering when the heck they're going to get the Easy Claw. Drivers talk about these things, and they really like the Easy Claw system. It is made in the USA right here in Mooresville, North Carolina. We pride ourselves on that. Love American manufacturing. And also we do have the factory and OEM options like you guys are getting from your Volvos now. So what makes up an Easy Claw system, and how do you guys figure out exactly what you think you need for your trucks? First off, you got to choose a tensioner. So we have 3 different weighted tensioners for this application. The 25-pound tensioner, I've got those notes on there. It's for 3-in-1 wrapped lines, 15-foot air and electric. We've also got a 30-pound tensioner that's for the 4-in-1 lines. So if you have any lift gates that need an extra ISO cord or 2-pole cord, we've got a 30-pounder that we would recommend in that application. We do have a 40-pound option that's used under the trailer, like we talked about earlier on the tandem sliders, and also for the hydraulic lines. If the trucks have a wet kit on them, we typically hold up those 2 hydraulic lines with the 40-pound option. Second, after you figure out which tensioner you need, then you need to choose a bracket, and most of those are make and model specific. So you'll want to know, if you're asking Jennifer or somebody else at Imperial, what bracket do I need for this? You're gonna need to know what the make and model of that truck is. And the reason it's make and model specific is because there's bolt patterns that match a lot of the bolt patterns that are already on the back of the trucks. And we want to make sure that we utilize those bolt patterns if we can, just to save you guys the installation time of putting the 4 rivet nuts in the trucks if you don't have the application specific holes in the back of your truck already. And then lastly, all you need to do is choose a line holder. So we've got the Easy Claw sling. It is a patented little apparatus that it wraps around the 3-in-1 lines or the 4-in-1 lines, very similar to a slip knot, and then it just hooks into that carabiner that's provided as well. That is stainless steel carabiner, and then it clips right into the Easy Claw through that little eyelet on the hose or on the tensioner itself. If you're not running the 3-in-1 wrapped lines and you want your lines to be in a specific spot and not allow the drivers to move those, then we would recommend a hose and cable block. There's many of these similar to this on the market today. I mean, Phillips makes one, Tektran makes one. This is our version of it. It won't crimp the lines at all when you put it on, but you do need tools to put that on. So it's just a little adjustable wrench. You can see up here on the top of this, there's just some bolts that hold it together. But all these components are all stainless as well, so they won't rust like some of the other ones will. Okay, good. And most of our kits that we have that we'll go over here in a minute are they all come with the sling, so that'd be a good thing, Jennifer. So I put this little slide together just kind of to make it easier for you guys when you're selecting the kits that you need. I know that there's Volvos and Max, and then there's some internationals as well. So if it's a 3-in-1 application, obviously, as we had discussed previously, you'd want to look at the 25-pound tensioner. I've got the Easy Claw part number on there, and then also the Imperial part number right there on that. And then if it's a 4-in-1 application where you have an extra power cable, you would want the 30-pound tensioner, and these are the part numbers for the Easy Claw part numbers and the Imperial part numbers down at the bottom for those applications where they would have that extra power cord.
So the Volvo and the Cascadia is the same kit number then?
Yes, it is. That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll flip back real quick. So that Volvo and Cascadia, if you look on this screen, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. I think you probably can. But this Versa mount bracket here would be the bracket that you got for both the Volvos and the Cascadia. So that's what you're going to get if you're ordering them from the factory from Volvo, would be that Versa mount kit. And then there are some sleeper applications. This particular bracket here in the middle is a bracket that we sell into Freightliner on the sleeper trucks, but you do have that kit as well, Jennifer, in your catalog. So, and then on the yard truck side of things, if it is a direct mount, like an Ottawa or an Autocar, similar to this first picture here is what I'm calling a direct mount. So it would just mount directly to the side of the cab of you could do that with a Autocar. You can do that with a Tyco. Pretty much any of the yard truck manufacturers have a space on the side of their truck where you can just directly mount to it. The second one, I'm just going to point out this picture here with that bracket that's up on the light beacon. So that bracket will only fit on the Ottawa Kalmar trucks that have that light beacon on it, which are most of them. But that's the two different kit numbers that I've given you here. So you got a direct mount is that 93171, and then the Ottawa adapter, if they want it to be held even higher, it's the 93173. So those are the yard truck applications. And then for the under trailer application, that's our EZC UT40 or Imperial's 91974. That would be the application for the tandem sliding hoses. And really that kind of goes through everything that I thought was important for you guys to understand kind of how the system works, the different applications that we have. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them now. any experiences that you guys have had on your Volvos. I love to hear customer feedback on those. So if you guys are having a good success rate with those, and if you've seen your hose and cable failures and problems that you've been seeing on the roads, I would love to hear some of those stories if you got them, if you don't have any questions.